just goes to show you I am not lying to y'all. Not sure if I'm on board. Today I'm gonna be doing a full face of the highest rated drugstore makeup. So this is the best drugstore makeup according to you all, the consumers who are writing these reviews online. And I took average ratings across Target.com, Walmart.com, and Ulta.com. If you're new here, hi, I'm Miranda. Welcome to my channel where we talk all things budget, beauty, fashion, and lifestyle. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Lash squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. Some of these products I have used before, talked before, and love. Some of them are completely new to me, so let's just jump right into it. All right, starting out with foundation. So whenever I was looking at the highest rated foundations across all of these sites, the L'Oreal Infallible line of foundations were always at the top of the list, the Fresh Wear being the newest edition and already topping the charts. Definitely my favorite out of all the Infallibles because the finish is so natural. So you're not gonna get too dewy or too matte. It's really like a fresh skin finish. And you get medium to full coverage and it lasts. So a couple months ago, I put the top 4 most popular drugstore concealers to the test against each other. I will leave that video link in a card and down below, but funny enough, the highest rated drugstore concealer was the same concealer that I dubbed the best in my whole test. So that is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. This stuff is awesome, super high coverage, and it actually creased the least in my under eye area. Sorry for the spoiler alert if you haven't watched that video yet, but do it. So definitely about to see a big transformation here because I have been sick for the past week, getting very little sleep. So this is about to just change my life right now. And the fact that this is only $5, this concealer works much better than some high-end ones that I've tried. Under eye bags, who? And despite it being a more matte formula, it does not accentuate the lines under my eyes or any texture. It doesn't make it look dry. Next up for brows is actually a product I have never tried before, so I'm a little bit nervous to see if I agree with all of these great reviews. This is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. It has 4.5 stars on Ulta.com with over 4,300 reviews. Now already this is pretty much the exact type of brow pencil that I prefer to use on my brows, so that's a good thing. I love very fine tip brow pencils, so let's check it out. I got the shade Taupe, so we'll see if that works. I feel like Taupe is always a good way to go if you just have no idea what shade is gonna match, because it's pretty neutral. Yeah, I like this a lot. The texture of this pencil is also pretty dang great. It's soft enough so that you don't have to press really hard to get the pigment, but not too soft that it over applies and gets messy. I definitely could have gone a shade darker, but Taupe is neutral enough that it's not looking super weird. Right? Next product, eye primer. This one was actually a surprise. This had 4.5 stars on Ulta and was actually tied with the famous Milani eyeshadow primer. This is the Covergirl Lid Lockup Primer, and I have used this a ton of times here on the channel, but I don't feel like I hear enough people really talking about it here on YouTube for it to be the highest rated or tied for highest rated eyeshadow primer at the drugstore. So happy to see another familiar product. I really like this primer. It stays a tiny bit tacky, so you can really pack on the eyeshadow and get that pigment to stand out. And it also kind of helps neutralize the color on the lid. Are you ready to hear what is the highest rated eyeshadow palette at the drugstore? Because this one was a little bit of a interesting moment. The NYX Warm Neutrals Ultimate Palette. This had 4.5 stars on Target, and this was a little bit of a shock because in my experience, NYX is a great drugstore brand, but eyeshadows are not their strength, in my opinion. They've put out a few palettes that I've liked, but it's been hit or miss every time I use their eyeshadows. I have tried an Ultimate palette in the past, a colorful one, that didn't work very well for me. So little hesitant going into this. I have not used this palette yet. Let's see what we can create. Obviously the Warm Neutrals, it's a great year-round palette of neutrals, but specifically for fall, I think we've got some great colors to play with. Now because that eyeshadow primer does stay a little tacky, I'm gonna go ahead and set it. Okay, already we've got some good pigment going on in terms of our base shade. I used like all of my good blending brushes last week for the Shane Dawson video, and I don't have any clean ones that don't don't have bright colors on them. I'm gonna go into this kind of terracotta shade as my transition. Okay, so literally one shade in and this already has better pigmentation and blendability than the other Ultimate palette that I've tried. Gonna hit my brow bone with this champagne shade. Little stiffer than I like my shimmer shades to be, but not impossible to work with. I gotta say, for a palette that's called Warm Neutrals, we actually get a lot of cool options here too. So first I'm gonna go into this really warm, almost burgundy brown, and I'm gonna work that into my crease and outer corner area first. And then I'll probably deepen it up a little bit. Gonna deepen the outer corner with pretty much the darkest warm brown option we have in this palette. All right, I'm what, 3-4 shades in, and I will say that this is probably the best NYX eyeshadow palette that I've ever used. I guess NYX just doesn't have a really consistent eyeshadow formula because this is great, but I've tried other eyeshadow palettes from them and I'm like, what is this? Do double duty with the Camo Concealer and do a little cut crease action. Yeah, so funny enough, as much as I love this concealer for my face and under my eyes, not really gonna recommend it for cut creases. It just dries down too quickly, so it becomes hard to spread. So if you don't get that crisp line right away, you kind of have to go back in and add more product. The more you know. I think I'm gonna go into this sort of dusty pink. All right, we are done with the eyes and I'm loving this kind of fall smoky vibe. Next up, I'm gonna tightline with an eyeliner that I have used pretty heavily here on the YouTube channel, but I did not realize it was so popular amongst the masses. This is the Covergirl Perfect Point Plus eyeliner. It has 4 stars on Target with almost 10,000 reviews. That's a pretty good average. So I've used this both on my lash line, I've used it in the waterline. It works great both ways. I'm just gonna throw it in my waterline today. I was so stoked to find out that this next product was the highest rated drugstore liquid eyeliner, because it just goes to show you I am not lying to y'all. This is the bomb. It is the NYX Matte Liquid Liner, my favorite. It's pretty much all I use. It is a brush tip liquid liner. Now, I feel like some people are intimidated by this because it's not a pen style, but I swear once you get the hang of it, you will never want to go back. I feel like I just have so much more control with this type of eyeliner for thin lines, thick lines, graphic lines, winged lines. It is just my dream liner, and it lasts. Like, I constantly get people asking me, like, what is the secret to these sharp winged eyeliner looks you always do? And I swear, the liner just does it itself. All right, as far as the highest rated drugstore mascara, this one was a bit of a surprise because in my mind, I thought I knew what it was going to be. But as an average, this mascara came out on top. It is the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. It's got 4.4 stars on Ulta Beauty with over 2,000 reviews. And I mean, I've heard good things about this mascara, but it beat out some pretty big contenders. Okay, so I will say that this mascara is holding my curl really well, even as I layer it. Now, I do have the waterproof version. It's just what I had on hand. So I'm not sure how that differs from the regular Lash Princess mascara, but I'm not sure if I'm on board. Ooh, it's getting a little chunky. Ooh. It got spidery kind of fast. All right, here's the tea with this mascara. There was a really fine line between looking pretty good and then suddenly being spidery, like it was really easy to go overboard. I combed out my lashes with my Tweezerman lash comb, and now I really, really like how my lashes look. I don't know, like I really like how lifted my lashes look. Very thick, very dark and black and dramatic, but I had to go in and detangle them. The jury's out. Have you used this mascara? Let me know. Now, I had to dig out these old palettes that I have miraculously kept in my collection over the years because they ended up both being the top rated contour and blush products at the drugstore, the e.l.f. contour palette and the e.l.f. blush palette. So I'm gonna go into the deepest shade in the e.l.f. contour palette. Ooh, yep, I still got it. Oh, I'm so glad I held on to these. Wow, I forgot how much I like this. No wonder it's so highly rated. Gotta say, I've been a little bit out of the loop with e.l.f. recently besides the concealer. If you have any more e.l.f. suggestions as far as their later releases, let me know. All right, so I have their blush palette in dark, which I think actually has some great colors for fall. I'm gonna go into this deep kind of berry shade. All right, I talked about picking this up in my last video at Dollar General, and this is consistently the highest rated drugstore highlight whenever I'm checking online. It is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Highlighting Powder. This is in the shade Golden Flower Crown, a really beautiful golden champagne. So let's add a beaming highlight, shall we? What I love about this highlight and why I think it's so highly rated is that it's not glittery. You really do just get this reflection on the skin that shows off beautifully if it catches any bit of light. I mean, hi, hello, how are ya? Oh my God, just add more, drench me in this. Oh, I'm gonna tap a little bit in my inner corner as well. All right, finally, the cherry on top of our look, we've got the highest rated drugstore liquid lipstick. Can you guess what it is? Because this did not come as a surprise. It is the Maybelline SuperStay Matte Ink Liquid Lipstick. I have the shade Voyager here, which is such a beautiful deep burgundy for fall. I think it'll finish off this look quite well. Now, these are very matte liquid lipsticks, very long lasting, and they are quite thick. So the trick is to apply in thin layers. You really shouldn't need to build up very much. We are in full drugstore glam mode now. Let me know in the comments, do you think that these products earned their place as the highest rated drugstore makeup? Today's shout out goes to Lisner. Thanks for being a member of the Slash Squad. And join me over in this video next where I talk about some more awesome drugstore eye makeup that are dupes for high-end products. I'll see you over there. Bye!